recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
All right, welcome to the regularly scheduled Wednesday, October 2nd, 6 p.m. City Council meeting. Call to order and roll call.
Mayor Joe Shine.
He is not here, he's on vacation.
Jason Bailey.
Here.
Randy Hall.
Here.
Mike Parsons.
Here.
Michael Ferguson.
He sent an email in. All right, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is that Candy?
I didn't realize there was going to be some here.
All right. So Mayor Pro Tem report, obviously, my name is Mike Parsons. I'm acting Mayor Pro Tem. And the first thing on the agenda for the report is the oath of office swearing in of the newly appointed Vader City Council member, Janet Charlton, position 1. All right.
All right.
Good. Raise your right hand. I, Janet Charlton,
I, Janet Charlton,
solemnly swear that I will support
I do solemnly swear that I will support
the Constitution and the laws of the state of Washington
the Constitution and the laws of the state of Washington
and the Constitution and laws of the United States of America,
and the Constitution and laws of the United States of America,
and that I will faithfully and impartially perform and discharge
I will faithfully perform and discharge the duties duties
of the City Council of the City of Vader,
of the City Council of the City of Vader,
Washington, according to the laws
Washington, according to the laws
and the best of my ability, so help me God.
and the best of my ability, so help me
We
God.
did it.
I got my glasses here in a second. Thank you, Mike.
All right. Okay. There is,
Sam, Janet Charlton, nice to
Hey,
meet
nice
you.
to meet you. Welcome aboard.
Janet Charlton, nice to meet you.
Welcome.
there is still a planning committee vacancy. Interested candidates?
Oh, yeah, like me and Scott are.
Interested candidates inquire at the City Hall or contact Mayor Shy. Law enforcement discussion with the Lewis County Sheriff's Department, Under Sheriff and the Chief regarding new coverage for 2024. We had a meeting this last week. That was just this last week, right? And unfortunately, our price is going to go up about 20%. And we're trying to get more hours, but the hours here are going to go down to 12 a week instead of 20, unfortunately. So.
And the cost is going up?
And the cost is going up.
Oh.
The cost of everything is just going up. In fact, the jail has gone up 18%, is what Snozza was saying. So anyway, that's what it looks like. And so that's going to be.
What's the cost of that per year versus what it's going to?
I think it was 97 this last year.
I think it's like 90, 96, 97.
And so it's going to go up 20%.
20% there, yeah.
Approximately, I think 115, 120.
For 12 hours.
Well, it's not just the 12 hours. We have 24/7 coverage, but we have somebody here 12 hours a week. But it also still includes the jail, which is really important. Because without the jail, if we have one idiot, it could bankrupt the city. From if I really don't want to mess the little boy's name up, but can you help me?
The homicide that happened here, homicide by abuse, a
Yeah.
number of years ago across the street on, yeah.
Yeah.
Started with a J, but anyway, the hours that took, we would have been paying those hours. And every day that they're in jail until they're sent off to prison, we pay those. So that's 2 years, I believe, as they hold them before they send them off to jail. And so that's over, he was saying that's like around 100, 150 a day, something like that, 150, 120.
I wouldn't say it's that high. I think it was around 90. I didn't bring mine. I know,
Yeah.
not prepared for that either.
But anyway, this was just a,
$20 an hour.
yeah, so. All
So
right.
we can't ask for more hours and cost more in the negotiation so we can get the coverage. May cost us a little more, but we're gonna get the hours. That's what we're worried.
We did ask about that, and he couldn't, the issue is he can't promise the hours because they can't get people to take overtime shifts, and this is considered an overtime shift. So they have other contracts that they're just not doing, or they're cutting way back because the new younger officers, they want to go in, work, and go home. They don't want to do any overtime or anything like that. I said younger officers. Not that you're an old officer. But anyway, yeah, the whole dynamic, yep. The whole dynamic of law enforcement has changed the last couple of years, and one, getting them, they're not paid enough, and yeah, it's just more liability for them themselves too, because now officers can be sued privately. So anyway, council reports. Any? Okay, agenda approval.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda for today, August 2nd, 2023.
We have a motion to approve the agenda for today by Jason Daly. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Janet Charlton. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, any, what's the vote?
All in favor?
All in favor. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's unanimous. Okay. Minute approval.
I make a motion to approve minutes approval, city council meeting minutes for July 19, 2023.
Have a motion to approve minutes for July 19th, 2023 by Randy Hall. Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Jason Daly. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Voucher approvals.
I'll make a motion that we approve the vouchers for the 1st of August, 2023, $9,866.05.
We have a motion to approve the vouchers for the 1st of August as written. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Randy Hall. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Special reports, doesn't look like we have any special reports. City business, council consider First Amendment. What's that? Oh, you good? Okay. Council to consider First Amendment to interlocal agreement with the city of Winlock for the site sewer inspection services.
Is Wilson still a sewer guy?
It's Bob, right? Or Bill?
Bill Wilson?
Yeah, Bill Wilson, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Wilson.
And we've had this since 2022. Correct? This
Yeah, this is,
doing an interlocal agreement.
yep, that way if we need to call on them to cover or do something, then,
And there's nothing changing in that agreement from the time before.
no, not that I was aware of.
How often have we had to use them? Not very often.
Not, actually,
Maybe the wage has gone up, I would say,
probably.
since the last one, but nothing other than he's just gonna come out and do the.
How many times have we used them in the last year? I think that's the question. Oh, yeah.
Nice using them now.
Or maybe in the last
We haven't
month?
used them. The reason why we decided to amend this contract is because both our public works lead and our sewer operator are both on vacation at the same time. So my goal is to not let that happen again, because that's a lot of money. That's a lot of cost to have somebody come in on top of salaries. So that's the reason for the amendment, is to at least have somebody here if they're not available.
Yeah,
So that will be the only, I think it's a week in October that he will be working, and I don't foresee a whole lot after that.
well, I'll make a motion that we approve the First Amendment to the interlocal agreement between the city of Winlock and the city of Vader for the provision of side sewer inspection services.
We have a motion to approve the First Amendment for the interlocal agreement with the city of Winlock by Jason Daly. Do we have a second?
I said it.
Seconded by Randy Hall. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Number 2, council to consider contract amendment with SCJ Alliance, GMA grant work, and water receivership. So this is to let them start working on the water, getting our water back, and work on grants
For the comprehensive plan.
for the comprehensive plan.
I thought we lost that or something.
No,
They extended it,
this is, we have to get stuff rolling by the end of this year.
23. Okay.
So that's what we're doing.
And do you know if Joe ever heard back? I know that Joe asked for an
And it's costing us
I don't believe Joe has heard back yet.
Okay.
is this costing us $130,000? The taxpayer?
Say that again, Bob?
I thought I seen it in there. We agreed for 100,000, then 30,000. Is that taxpayer money? Is that grant money? Is that money that we're paying?
That's grant money, trying to go for grant money.
That's what we're trying to go for the grant money for.
What's his name? That's your question. King Michael Mayer.
Oh, gotcha.
So updating the comprehensive plan, proposed budget was 100,000. Is that what you're referring to? And then the preparing the utility action plan and assisting in the city with water system return from the county. That's 30,000, and we're trying to get grants for both of those. Or they are trying to get grants for both of those for us. That's the way that, who was the last city planner?
That Lissa?
Was it Gary?
Gary,
Oh, Gary Cooper.
Gary,
I think so.
yeah, he got,
Gary
all-
Cooper with Local Planning Solutions.
yeah, Gary. So he got all the grants to pay for himself. He worked on getting the grants, so, anyway.
Gosh, I need this. Do we need a motion on this?
Yes,
I make a motion that we approve the contract between SCJ Alliance, GMA grant work, and for work on our water receivership.
we've got a motion from Mr. Daly for the contract amendment for SCJ Alliance. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Randy Hall. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No, motion passes. Public comment.
I have a question.
Oh, God, you were going to disappoint me if you didn't say something. I was like,
Have you made plans for that property you bought from Carol Brown?
I don't know that we have made any plans for it yet.
Talked about it, discussed it amongst yourselves?
I think I've seen several maybe possibilities tossed around within the Parks Department. Maybe that would be a better person to find is
Well,
maybe
two of you people are married to one of them, aren't you? I mean, that's.
the mayor's not here.
Two of us are married to one of them? How does that work, Cindy?
Are you guys married to current people? No, you're planning.
Fine.
Planning, oh, who's, that's the, oh, Joe.
Joe.
Oh.
So it is at some point obviously going to be a park if it's in the park department's.
It's a green space. It's
Okay.
not like a swings and playground, maybe a
Okay.
bench and some trees, maybe a clock tower. Don't want to ever say a fountain because those are not affordable,
No.
but something like that.
Cool.
Someplace that we
What
can
about
put
the
our-
pyramid? The tower,
So-
the tower, is that going there?
I've not heard anything about a pyramid or tower, but it's someplace that we can put our Christmas tree at Christmas time, right there on the corner of the middle of town. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just as
And it falls under parks because all of the properties in the city fall under parks.
Oh,
So
okay.
it all starts with parks and then,
and since this is
and
the
not
hospital
necessarily, they're not necessarily quote parks,
piece,
but they are under the Parks Department. They help maintain it and it goes from there.
Is the city still planning on buying?
My
that-
comment,
Go ahead, Bob.
my comment is, how much are these LeMay trucks weigh as far as running up and down the roads? Did somebody consider that as far as we were gonna limit any kind of big trucks, and those loaded sound like a lot more than Jeff's, so just
I
curious.
remember we've taken off the weight restrictions on the roads.
What's that?
Didn't we remove the weight restrictions on the roads?
Why would you do that?
No, we didn't remove them. They're still there for commercial. Is what we talked about before. Because we wanted,
We wanted people to be able to order gravel
yes,
and without getting a permit from the city to get a truck down Vader City Road. So I thought we
Yep. So we didn't just get rid of them.
raised the limit of the weight or something. We did something.
No, we.
It was a limit of loads.
and it was for home improvement or
Right.
not for selling logs.
I'd have to ask Joe on that one. Maybe he would know the weight of these garbage trucks, but I don't think they're any heavier than a loaded dump truck with gravel.
Yeah, I don't know how much they weigh, Bob.
It's
All
the wear
right.
and tear on the roads, the torn up roads that we have right now is all and you know, they buzz up and down. It's gonna tear them up.
Yeah, they do run every
Thanks.
street at least twice because of two sides of the street.
And they're not slow either.
No.
They're cooking.
Yeah. Cindy?
Wasn't the city considering?
If people could roll their,
Gonna hunt it
if they
down.
could roll their trash cans across the road, and then you'd only have to go up one side, but that's asking a lot of the neighborhood.
Yeah, they put the cans out where they kind of expected to come back and pick them up.
Mhm.
So if they would have put them all on one side of the street, I would have been happy to be like that, but they put them in front of all of our driveways.
Yeah.
You can't really mess them up because they got our barcode on the front of them. Tells you which house it came from.
Yeah.
That's why it's got to face the street so it can read it.
Scan it as they,
And, yeah,
They're tracking you, Leighton.
and then they have scanners, so they read all the barcodes that fall in.
yeah, they see what you had for dinner.
Sorry, conspiracy side coming out. I'm just kidding. Just joking.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Cindy?
Wasn't the city considering buying another piece of property down there off of Main Street, that big lot next to Bob, the online guy? Wasn't you guys thinking about that for a community building or community center?
About the tracks.
Someplace like
I've
that?
heard that.
Over by the tracks?
Mhm.
We did
No,
buy it.
Main Street.
We did buy that already
Okay,
for our communities.
The last, if you're heading west on 506, the last lot on your right-hand side that's being
Yeah.
maintained now, that's owned by the city
Used
also.
to be a motel right there.
right, so that's right next to that one-legged guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob, he used to live right there, yeah.
Bob, yeah, Bob.
So the plans are for a community center?
That is the idea for that space.
Okay.
There is,
I don't know.
not seen a rendition
plans,
or
but
anything.
ideas.
That's kind of what that idea was for. Where we wanted to put in, we used to have the community center in the middle of town that Costello bought. Now it's a home, and that's great.
Whatever.
But it was also our like fallout shelter, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was our everything,
Emergency
And so
shelter.
it's something that I think every community has, is a community
Mhm.
center,
Right.
gathering spot, so.
Have anybody working on that? Planning? Anybody?
Not right now. We were waiting for Janet to get on.
I was gonna say, I would love to take that on, honestly, because I'm sure we could get some grants because we don't have an emergency shelter.
Right.
For the homeless,
No, we passed an ordinance.
No,
about
for if
that.
your house
There is
burned
no
down, you could
homeless
stay
in
there
the
for,
Bay.
something like that. It's for the community, not,
I was here the night they passed that. There's no homeless shelters allowed in Vader. Isn't that an ordinance that couldn't they pass that like a while back about something about homeless shelters in Vader?
I don't
could've
know.
swore I was here the
I
night we were
don't
talking about that.
recall
No,
anything
nothing
like
about
that. There was
homeless.
something like, there was something about something, but I can't
Yes,
recall the
yeah,
wording.
yeah.
I'm not gonna say it wrong.
I wasn't making it up. Okay, community center, I'm making it on.
Any other public comments?
No.
Elected official comments? All right, hearing none, meeting adjourned at 6:27.
Oh, thank you.